Hey, ZMB, all zombie radio.
Oh, I'm a minute early. Where am I? Hey, welcome to a new show. In place of Finding Found, you will now find the Limited Series Lounge. I feel like it needs to be said like that. It's like, get your dirty martini and get ready. What? I don't know. Anyway, we are here to cover the first episode of a new show. It's not new. It's new to me. It's maybe not new to you. Something that was requested in a comment, in a actual comment, not a live comment, but a post live comment. And I don't even remember who left it. Let me find that for you first. Let's chatty chat about that, shall we? Because like what a privilege it is to have people comment on the videos. I love that. I love that you're doing that. I love that you're doing that. Not that one that's announcing that Found was canceled. That's not what we want. Jackie Jones 8588. Jackie Jones. You said 13. And I said, "Is that your suggestion for a show?" And even if it wasn't, turns out that is the name of a show. And so I watched it. And it was good. And it was very much right up our alley. Now, Takeerah will be here, but she had little kindergarten graduation today. So she's been a bit busy, but she will be here. She's finishing up the episode right now and she will jump on as soon as she's done. While we're waiting, I'm going to pull up some information about the show. We're going to talk about that. But I would love for you to like this video. Go ahead, like it. You don't know if you're going to like it or hate it, and I don't really care. Just click that button. And then subscribe, I guess, if you want to. I don't know. I'm supposed to be good at this. I'm not. It's just not that serious. Anyway, if you want to like it, that'd be cool, I guess. So 13. And if you're going to search for the show online, I'm just going to let you know, if you're in the US, it is on Peacock. You cannot type in 1-3. That's not going to work for you. Has to be typed out. It is spelled out 13. Oh, I'm blinded. Oh, I'm blinded. Oh, I'm on the wrong browser. Oh, man. Oh, man. All right, folks. Here we go. Let's discuss 13. Television series that came out in 2016. It's a fine vintage. It was a drama serial, and this is a limited series, so it ends. Just the one season. That's all we got. Created by Marnie Dickens, the series centers on a character named Ivy Moxham, who is played by Jodie Comer. Jodie Comer is an English actress. Obviously, this was a BBC deal. She was in an episode of The Royal Today. She was in a series called My Mad Fat Diary, Dr. Foster, and then, of course, she starred in 13. She also played a sociopathic assassin, Villanelle, in Killing Eve, which was on BBC America. And she won that won a BAFTA television award. So kind of a big deal. And then she also played Sarah, a healthcare assistant in the television movie Help in 2021, and she won another BAFTA for that. So kind of a big deal, honestly. Ivy Moxham is 26 years old. She was kidnapped at the age of 13. I'm not going to say a ton more on that right now. And she was kept, obviously, for 13 years. The show is meant to reflect on the impact that this has on her life and also her family's lives. First episode was released on BBC 3 in the UK on the 28th of February, 2016. It began airing on BBC America in the United States that June of 2016. Each episode was broadcast on BBC Two a week after its original release, which gives it kind of some skewed ratings because it's like the BBC Three ratings and then the BBC Two ratings. With the first on March 6th. In Saudi Arabia and the rest of the Middle East, the series began airing in the middle of August 2016. On March 27th, 2016, so shortly after it began, Dickens stated that there would not be a second series of the show because it was intended to be a limited series. Okay, so it stars Jodie Comer, as we discussed, as Ivy Moxham. I'm gonna say his name wrong. Anurin Barnard. That's a Welsh name. It's why I can't pronounce it. He plays Tim, who is the boyfriend from back in the day. He also starred in a lot of other things like Hunky Dory, The Truth About Emmanuel, Scylla, The White Queen, Dead in a Week or Your Money Back, Dunkirk, and The Goldfinch. So quite a laundry list of productions. Valine Kane is in the series as DS Lisa Merchant. So one of the two investigators heavily involved in Ivy's case when she is found. She looked incredibly familiar to me, and I was trying to figure out why. And it must be from her being in Rogue One because I do not recognize anything else that she's been in. She was in, let's see, Blue Lights, which is another BBC drama. The Fall, which was on BBC. The Stan series, The Other Guy. The Sky Atlantic series, Gangs of London. And the ITVX series, The Winter King. Films include The Fading Light, Nora Special, Rogue One, and Profile. Okay, so playing D.I. Elliot Carn is Richard Rankin. Richard Rankin is Scottish. He is best known for playing Roger Wakefield Mackenzie in the Starz drama Outlander and for playing the lead role in the 2024 TV series Rebus, adapted from the Inspector Rebus or Rebus novels by Ian Rankin. Is he related to Ian Rankin? Would that be wild? Well, hold on. I'm digging in here. We're going to find out. Was he? There's literally no mention. Just a freak coincidence? That's weird. Guess so. Okay. Moving on. All right. Natasha Little plays the mother, Christina Moxham. She is best known for her role as Edith Thompson in the film Another Life. Lady Caroline Langbourne in the BBC miniseries The Night Manager. She's also been in Wolf Hall, a Black Mirror episode called Shut Up and Dance, Absentia, and War of the Worlds. The father, Angus Moxham, is played by Stuart Graham. Stuart Graham has like kind of a robust filmography. Let's see. Okay, so he was in a lot of movies. Nothing that I immediately recognize, but I'm going to go through and just kind of take a glance here. Nothing I do, but I'm not British. I mean, I am like genetically, but clearly listen to this accent. I'm not. He was in Mary Shelley, which was a period drama about author Mary Shelley. He was also in a lot of TV shows. Let's see. The Governor, In Defense, The Sins, Shockers, Sunday, Silent Witness, The Commander, Waking the Dead, Proof, Pulling Moves, Steel River Blues, Jack Taylor, Hidden, The Great Train Robbery, The Fall. After 13, he was in The Secret, Vera, The Last Post, The Interrogation of Tony Martin, Professionals, Smother, The Wheel of Time. So just kind of a wider range. I would imagine he's a bit of a British that guy. That would be my guess. I'm sorry. Is he actually British? He's not. He's Irish. He's Northern Ireland. My apologies to the Irish. I am but a mere one of you. Again, only genetically. Peter McDonald stars as Mark White. Peter McDonald, not known for much, mainly theater work. Little bit of some film work. He was in The Batman as William Kenzie. The Family Man as Steve. Not seen a ton else that I would recognize. The Last Kingdom in 2017 as Brother True. And then, Joe Layton plays Craig Watts. He's not really known for anything else. Emma Moxham, the sister of Ivy, is played by Catherine Rose Morley. She was known for her television roles in The Mill, Vera, 13, Last Tango in Halifax, Clink, The Syndicate, and the Black Mirror episode Demon 79. There are other characters. I'm not going to get into them right now. If we find them especially interesting, we can. But I'm going to leave it for right now. And we are going to begin discussing. I was like, wait, did I send it to Takeerah the link? I did. We're going to begin discussing here shortly the first episode. So these episodes are all just entitled episode insert number here. There are only 5. So there's that. This will be over in 5 weeks. And I hope to move on to other limited series. So if there's a limited series that you are especially interested, I would like you to go ahead and drop it down in the comments for me. We have Maid is like on the docket, maybe. I feel like there was maybe one other one that we had discussed, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't want to go with shows that have been canceled. We're looking for a limited series. We're looking for a show that was the story's fully completed, it's wrapped in a bow, and it's done at the end of its first season. There are other shows that I would like to cover that have been canceled. If you would like to add to that list, you're more than welcome to in the comments as well. Just write that it was a canceled show or a limited series show to clarify. We have a very long list for a panel show that I've done before called Cancellation Devastation, which talks about shows that have been canceled and probably like why they were canceled, and then talks about like the good and the bad about it. We have only done one episode of it because I am lazy and tired, and we agreed to do The Gifted next, and frankly I hate it and I don't want to, and it was canceled for a good reason because it's boring. But we did cover Zomboat, which was hilarious, and that episode is on my channel and worth a watch if you want to. Here she is.
Hi.
Hello. Hi.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good. We just went through all of the background.
Okay.
And so we are ready to move in to the actual episode.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, did you already talk about how this is my girl from Killing Eve?
I did mention Killing Eve.
I
I did. We just went through all of the actors, like the main ones. I'm not going to go through absolutely everyone. So a lot of people don't have other credits. Well, at least not credits that I've looked for or cared about. I'm sure they do. I'm sorry. I'm not going to pull up every single person's IMDb. You know what I mean? I'm just not going to. But we did go through like the main characters so far for this episode. Who knows? That could change. You just never know. It would appear that this is on the BBC website. Can you watch it on the BBC? Can you? Maybe. I don't know. You tell me, British people. Because it certainly won't let me, but maybe it would let you. And it does appear that it's also on YouTube. To buy. Good clarification. To buy. If you already have Peacock, go ahead and watch it there because it is available there. So we talked about the original release date. Let me let me give you the ratings. I told everyone this was a little bit confusing. It would air 1 week. The premiere date would be, I don't know what day of the week it would be, but it would be on BBC 3. And then a week later, it would air again on BBC 2. So the ratings are a little bit confusing. And it looks like looks like maybe that was only for the first episode.
Sorry.
Because I have for everything else, I only have BBC 2 ratings, which is a bit weird. But the first episode had in the UK alone, 2.4 million viewers for the first episode's airing on BBC 3. The next week, it had a 1.26 million. So pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good ratings, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Comparable with Found.
Mm-hmm.
More actually than Found. More than Found. Yep.
That's impressive, actually.
Yeah, I know it is. Okay, let me try to find this for you. Let's get a script pulled up, shall we? At the very least, a transcript.
You must have gotten home before me, because I'm not recuperated. I'm not.
I came home on Monday.
Oh, yeah.
I came back sick, though.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Girl, I had to get recuperated. I had to go back to work, so there was no other option for me. For those of you who don't know, Takeerah and I were at a convention together. But Takeerah was busy because she had her kids there. She was busy. We hung out, but just a little bit. At a convention in Peachtree City, Georgia. It's a Walking Dead convention. We go annually. If you are ever in the need to meet either one of us, you for sure can meet us there. I don't know. Maybe one day when we're big and famous, we'll do other conventions, but I don't know. Maybe New York Comic Con. I put in my application. We'll see what happens.
We've been discussing New York Comic Con.
Well, the applications are open, babe. So if you want to do it, go ahead and do it.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and do it. Okay. So we open on like a crazy ominous scene.
Mm-hmm.
It's a girl. She's coming down a set of stairs. She looks super out of it. And she is. And her like clothes are dirty, her hair is like stringy. She's got dirt under her toenails. And she is barefoot, and she gets down and she runs, takes off running. Now, obviously, we knew a little bit about what the show was about, so we knew what was going to happen. She had been kidnapped and she was escaping.
I wanted to say, because of how my brain is now wired, if I didn't already know what we were watching, I would have thought she woke up in an apocalypse.
Sure. That's fair. That is fair. Because then she hits a car. Like, she gets to a car that almost runs her over. And then you're like, oh, okay. Real time. Real world, real time. She calls 999, mind you, because this is in the UK. And she says, I'm Ivy Moxham. I was taken 13 years ago. I've just escaped. Please help me. A cop comes to pick her up and is like, this lady's saying she's Ivy Moxham. And we come to find out that Ivy Moxham is a missing person who has been missing for 13 years and that a few people have already pretended to be her.
Mm-hmm.
And so the police are wary. What was also wild to me was that there's never been a case of an escaped captive in the UK. Is that a fact? We got to know. Has there, oh my God, I have fake nails on. This is horrible. This keyboard, I'm not used to this keyboard at home. I'm used to the one at work now, but it's lower profile. So I'm like having a hard time. Has there ever been a case of, what was it? Wow, I'm bad at this. Bad at this already.
Like
case of an escaped captive.
Yes.
escaped captive in the UK. That does not answer my question. This is talking about high profile prison escapes.
What?
That's not what I'm asking at all. Escaped kidnap victim?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to change it to that. Yes, there have been cases of escaped kidnap victims in the UK. For example, Stephanie Slater was kidnapped and held captive for 8 days by one of the UK's most notorious kidnappers. Another notable case is Amanda Berry, who escaped from an unassuming house in Cleveland after 10 years of imprisonment. Okay.
Wait.
Let's see. But Amanda Berry was here in the US.
Yeah, I was like, I know that name.
Yeah, that's Ariel Castro.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. And we've talked about that case already.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Stephanie Slater, are you the only one? Stephanie Slater, the kidnapped victim who faced a second ordeal. This is on BBC.com, the BBC News section. Was written in December of 2022 by Andy Whitaker and Greg Watson. Held captive for 8 days by one of the UK's most notorious kidnappers, Stephanie Slater faced a new trauma in the aftermath of her release. She would go on to have a huge impact on how victims of crimes are treated. In 1992, the 25-year-old was working at a Birmingham estate agents when she was abducted by knife point. Her kidnapper, Michael Sams, had set a trap, posing as a potential house buyer. Stephanie endured the horrific ordeal of being kept handcuffed, gagged, and blindfolded in a coffin-like box. My God, that is horrifying. Itself locked inside a wheelie bin in Sam's workshop in Newark-upon-Trent in Nottinghamshire. Sams from Sutton-on-Trent was later found to have murdered 18-year-old Julie Dart from Leeds after using similar means to imprison her. But remarkably, after eluding a police cordon to pick up a £175,000 ransom from her employers, Sams let Stephanie go. During his trial, Stephanie described how she had talked to Sams to try to engage with him and increase her chances of survival. Speaking in a later interview, Stephanie said, "Don't get me wrong, I was terrified every single time I spoke to him. I thought, I hope I don't say the wrong thing and make him angry." Her evidence helped convict him of not only her kidnap, but also the murder of the Leeds teenager. In 1995, Stephanie published her own account of the kidnapping called Beyond Fear, My Will to Survive. At the time, she said, "I wrote the book for women who are in danger, and I'm trying to speak out for women who are taken by maniacs like Sam." Excuse me. I'm recovering still from whatever this horrifying virus was. "I wanted to speak out, a voice in the wilderness, because nothing seems to be done for women these days. Nothing has been done since I was kidnapped." Wow. So how did Stephanie end up working on behalf of women who have been through traumatic crimes and sometimes harrowing police investigations? Hold on. Okay, I think I'm okay now. Wow.
I'm giggling because we're both muted and we're both kind of looking at.
It's happening again. Hold on.
Sorry. She came home with con crud, guys. Oh no. I'm praying I don't get sick. I also work in a hospital, so I couldn't even blame it on the con if I did get sick.
No, I was sick when I went, like right before I went there. I wasn't sick when I went there, but I got a virus right before I went down there because I work in a school.
Yeah.
So, of course, I got sick. And then I thought that this was just an extension of that virus, like that had moved down to my chest or something. But I'm realizing now that I had a fever earlier in the week. It's been a whole thing. Anyway,
It's
you
it's
know,
people posting about being sick though,
you
not
know
a
me, I
flu.
was like, "Oh, I'm just cold," even though it's like 77 in my house. I'll wear a sweatshirt to bed. That's normal. It's not. I probably had a fever. Anyway, it's okay. I'm okay now and healing. Okay. Following her release, Sams took Stephanie home, dropping her 2 streets from her front door. He pulled up to the car. He said, "I'm sorry about everything. You were the innocent victim," she recalled in a later interview. Then he said, "Don't look back at the car. I fell out onto the pavement and the door shut behind me and he drove off at speed. When I opened my eyes, I was partially blind. The pressure of the blindfold for 8 days and nights had damaged my eyes. All I could see were the swirling orange street lamps and I could hardly walk. Somehow, she staggered back to the home she shared with her parents and rang the bell. A guy opened the door and I didn't recognize him," she said. "I thought I had come to the wrong house. It turned out he was my mom and dad's family liaison officer," which we hear mention of in this episode. "He had been there for 8 days, but had never seen a photograph of me, so he didn't recognize me." That's weird. What kind of shoddy police work is happening? Your parents had 0 photos of you?
What?
What? Like, how had he not seen? He was there for 8 days, but had not seen a photograph of her?
I'm so confused.
Over his shoulder, my dad appeared and screamed, "It's Stephanie! Stephanie's back!" And he hauled me into the porch. Seeing my father's reaction, the officer then shockingly blocked her from hugging her parents due to the risk of contaminating forensic evidence. In a later interview, she recalled, "He pushed me to the back of the room, sat me in a chair, and said, 'You stay there. Don't touch the arms of the chair. You sit there and don't do anything.' I was absolutely terrified. I was thinking, 'Dear God, what is going on?' The reality of it is you are back from a terrible ordeal and you see your mom or dad and you want to hold them or hug them. To a police officer, you're a walking crime scene. I had
Mm-hmm.
fibers and things all stuck to me and whatever else. But I should never have been denied just a hold of a hand to know that I was home." That wasn't me. That was my dog. She also has a cough. Best friend Stacy Kettner and Stephanie confided in her about what happened next. The room, and there is, by the way, there is a 7-part podcast on this case called The Kidnapping of Stephanie Slater on BBC Sounds. Just so you guys know. The room was cleared and a police surgeon, or whoever they call, made her get undressed in her own living room on this big sheet of brown paper, Stacy said. "I remember that the door from their living room had frosted glass, so she could see there were people on the other side of that door, and she felt so exposed. She had long hair and it was matted. The police had a kind of tick sheet, and the doctor was going, 'Right, take some blood.' There was no empathy. It was a right, next thing kind of thing. They pulled out some hair without saying that it was going to happen. They took her hand and cut her nails. Nothing was explained to her. There was no gentleness. Top of
That's
this,
insane.
I know, but this is how it was. This was the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And I don't know how many people had survived kidnappings at this point in the world when DNA evidence needed to be a thing. Like, I don't know. On top of this, a deal struck between the police and the media not to publish details of the kidnap meant Stephanie was put in front of a press conference less than 12 hours after being released and before she had been officially interviewed by officers. While Stephanie mostly cooperated with police, giving dozens of statements, she refused one suggestion: to reenact her kidnapping to see if it would jog her memory of events.
What?
Stacy said the psychological strain of Stephanie's ordeal and a wish to protect her mother led her to initially not telling police that she had been raped by Sams. Poor girl. Through all of this, she did not have any counseling, leaving her and her family to deal with the aftermath alone. She fled to the Isle of Wight, and for a while, a broken Stephanie struggled with building a new life. However, being introduced to a police officer unexpectedly led to a new role. Stacy recalled, "He was like, 'Oh gosh, it must have been so interesting during training to talk to someone or hear about this from someone who has experienced this.' He asked if she would be interested in talking to some police trainees, and she said that's fine, and it all started from there. Within months, she started doing presentations and seminars about the treatment of victims of crime. The police loved her, said Stacy. People who have gone through situations like that, they so rarely come back out alive. It gave her a sense of purpose. It was a tonic for her. Stephanie described it as the counseling I never had. Tanya Bridgman,
Wow.
former vice chair for stalking and harassment for the Association of Chief Police Officers, described the impact of these sessions. The whole room, you could have just dropped a pin the whole time, she said. She presented the effect of the investigation afterwards and how really that was the thing that took the longest to get over. After that, officers just wanted to improve the way they worked and kept asking for more training when she came. Now, there is an understanding there has to be a balance between collecting evidence and, more than anything else, the welfare of that victim. The guy who kidnapped her, Michael Sams, a 49-year-old heating engineer who had been in prison for theft, kidnapped Julie Dart from the Chapelton area of Leeds on July 9th, 1991. Notes from Julie, along with ransom demands and wider threats, were sent to police, as well as complex instructions to pick up messages from locations like public call boxes or country lanes. None resulted in cash being handed over. It later transpired Sams had beaten Julie to death. After kidnapping and releasing Stephanie Slater a few months later, Sams was caught when his first wife recognized his voice from a clip played on BBC's Crime Watch. Got him. Stephanie unfortunately died of cancer at age 50 in 2017. Despite her work, recent cases such as the killings of Zara Alina, Sabina Nessa, and Sarah Evard have highlighted the fact that women remain far from safe as they go about their daily lives. The family of Susie Lamplew, who, like Stephanie, is believed to have been kidnapped during the course of her work as an estate agent, has long campaigned on the issue. Susie's brother Richard works alongside the Susie Lamplew Trust and feels progress on safety since Stephanie's abduction has been mixed. I'm going to end it there. It's pretty much the end of the article. So we didn't get a yes or no answer on that. Hope you found that interesting, because I did, but we got no yes or no answer on whether or not that's a thing in the UK. It doesn't sound like there's been a lot of them. So that is really interesting to hear. And to know that this is based in reality to some degree.
Right.
So Ivy gets interviewed by two police officers, as well as gets passed over to a family liaison officer, which is who the guy was that hadn't seen a picture of Stephanie, which is insane. It doesn't make any sense. The family liaison officer seems to want to treat her really kindly. And I would guess that this is supposed to be taking place like in the 2016 era. So I think it's to show that they are trying to make this easier. But as you can tell, based on the interactions with the other officers, that's not the case. There's a lot of assumptions about how she should be acting based on what's happened to her, which is crazy because even if this isn't true in real life, in canon, in this world, she is the only escaped captive.
They were making me so angry. They were making me angry.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the heck is wrong with these people? Are they supposed to be police officers or not?
I don't know. Yeah, Elliot Karn is a little concerning to me because he is letting her get too attached. It's a dangerous thing. It is a dangerous thing what he's doing. She's starting to feel safe with him, and that is really scary because we don't know what that's going to mean for her psyche and like how she's going to react to that.
And I feel like that's what he wants. Like,
it's almost like I think he really feels bad for her. And so he's letting that show, and he's still viewing her as like a little girl who needs protecting. And that's what the other officer, which I can't even remember her character's name, Lisa Merchant, she's trying to say, like, look, she's not a little girl anymore. She was when she was taken. She is now a woman. And I love that she says, like, you need to be careful with her. Now, do I think she has Stockholm Syndrome? I don't think that.
No, I don't either.
But there is some damage to her psyche, obviously,
Mhm.
as there would be with anyone.
I just think that nobody knows how to navigate the situation, and
Yeah.
the police, in my opinion, already made her very uncomfortable.
Yeah, they did.
So I think she just got overwhelmed, honestly.
Um, the thing that's creeping me out the most is she saw Slater do that thing with her hair, and she keeps doing it.
Mm.
Did you notice that in the episode?
I did notice it like one time. I was like,
She did it several times throughout the episode. It's usually when she's talking to Elliot Karn. And it's like, that's how she was first introduced to Slater. She comes in, she goes like this and like tucks her hair like up, like kind of behind her ears. And so she starts mimicking that like movement. Now, I don't know if
mm-hmm.
that's actually what that's going to be or if that's going to be something else from like Time Kidnapped. We don't know yet, but it's giving off the illusion that she is like mimicking what Slater is doing, which is a little bit off-putting and a little bit concerning. Obviously there's going to be damage, clearly.
Yeah.
There's also damage among the family, as we know. It would appear so dad has obviously left mom
Mm-hmm.
to shag his PA. So shagging the secretary, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know what that phone call was about from the headmaster of the school.
Oh,
But
yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
that seem like maybe there was a little bit of intimacy between mom and the headmaster?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think she's free and clear of this either. I think it's on both sides, maybe. And I'm sure we'll get more details about that later.
So much
And
happened in one episode.
oh my goodness, didn't it? The sister I like, but I did feel horrible that she felt like that wasn't Ivy. But I could see you. It's not the Ivy you knew.
Right. Right.
It's not the Ivy you knew. And you could tell she felt guilty immediately after they got the phone call saying that the DNA was matched. Now, here's my question. Was the DNA matched or was mom lying?
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
No one else mentions it during the episode.
Oh.
Not to say that's the case. It could just be seamless storytelling. We're giving you the facts. We don't need to reiterate them. Fine. But I'm just saying it was not mentioned by anybody else in the episode. So I thought it was interesting because it happened at that moment of the argument. So I was like, that's convenient.
And I don't know, like, for so much to happen in this one episode, I just feel like, and we have 4 more episodes to go.
I know.
So something's going on somewhere.
Well, we still haven't found the kidnapper.
Yeah.
All we know about him is that he used to work at the school.
The school. Mm-hmm.
So now we have that. Oh, hold on one second. I have a headband on under this and it is horrible. Okay. Oh, ow. Hurt my head. Okay. It was like the headphones were like pressing down on it. Yeah, so that's really the only thing we know is that the headmaster had hired this guy who ended up being the kidnapper.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really know anything else about him. We've seen a picture of him. Looks pretty like, I don't know, typical for a kidnapper, I guess. Kind of like run-of-the-mill white dude.
Yeah, pretty
Right?
much.
Yeah. I don't know. He looked Mormon, maybe a little bit. I'm just kidding. That's a horrible thing to say. I apologize to the Mormon community. I'm so sorry for saying that out loud. That's messed up. I apologize. That was messed up. Okay. Anyway. Yeah. Okay. So should we just like evaluate each character that was introduced?
Yeah.
I think that should cover the bulk of the plot line. Okay. Start with Ivy. Ivy, obviously, near catatonic in a lot of
Mm-hmm.
moments. Avoiding a lot of touch, especially the touch of men, but really touch in general she does not want.
Also, so what you said about her mimicking, like, I think she's desperately wanting to be normal, but
Oh yeah.
also like just completely not even knowing what normal is.
Well, she doesn't know how to be a woman. So she went
Yeah,
from 13-year-old girl to now 26-year-old woman, and she doesn't even know what that means.
right.
She doesn't know how to do her makeup. Why is she still in the same outfit? 2 days, and you haven't given that girl some new clothes? How did her sister let her get made up and then didn't tell her, like, you can borrow a dress that I have?
There were so many things that I was like, what
That
is
was crazy.
happening?
That was crazy. That was actually crazy. It's fine. It's fine. She loves a sweatsuit,
I
as do
keep
I.
wondering, like, is it going to be the situation where they find out that, like, she had a kid or something?
Well, that was mentioned.
Mm.
We don't know which way, one way or the other. But remember, she says
Mm.
that line to the family liaison officer, you should eat. You should eat fish twice a week. And she says, how do you know that? I read it in a book.
Mm.
I liked when I got the fish, and I got it until I didn't anymore. What does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
Did she have the baby? Did she lose the baby?
Mm-hmm. See,
Mm-hmm.
I need to go back and rewatch this. I was watching it
I mean,
watching.
there's a lot of content in this episode. It was an hour
Yeah.
long, and there was so much content to it. And it was a full hour.
I started watching it and I was like, what do you mean 59 minutes?
It's a full hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a full hour. So this would have been like an hour and a half block, I
Right.
guess, on TV, right? Okay, so other than that, Ivy she has a sister. She has a best friend named Eloise, who we have seen on screen, but like we don't really know a ton about her.
Mm-hmm.
She had a boyfriend at the time named Tim, who does come to visit her, and we'll get to him later. She would appear to have some sort of fondness for Elliot Karn
Mm-hmm.
and some sort of disdain for Slater, which is interesting. She's very frustrated with her mother.
Yeah.
And does not want to be near her father and seems terrified of Craig, the sister's boyfriend or fiance.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely terrified, which he did kind of vaguely look like the kidnapper,
I was thinking that.
like
I
tall
was.
blonde guy. So I was
Yep.
like, maybe
Mm-hmm.
that's why. All right, let's move on to the sister, I guess. The sister? I don't even remember her name. Yikes. It's pretty bad. Pretty bad. Emma Moxham.
Oh, I never would have guessed it.
Never would have, not in a million years. Emma. Emma has a fiance. She is to be married soon. I'm sure she's had a trying time as a young girl, because a lot of focus would have been on her sister and her sister missing. And then probably a lot of unwanted focus then was given to her then as a teen, I would guess, so that she didn't also go missing or get hurt. So I could see that being really hard on the person left behind.
Yeah.
So there's some stuff to work through there. It was interesting that she was so adamant that it wasn't Ivy.
Maybe she had convinced
But
herself that she was
again,
dead.
I don't know. I'm not sure, but I could see Oh, okay. I was freezing there for a second. I could see having some unresolved animosity towards your sister, even though like it wasn't your sister's
Mm-hmm.
fault. I could see kind of blaming a lot of how your life went on her.
Yeah.
It could be hard. It could be hard to process, especially now that she's back.
Mm-hmm.
Now you've really got to face all your shit, right? Um okay, so Emma is engaged to Craig. We know like absolutely nothing
Yeah.
about Craig. So, we'll move on from that. Christine Moxham is the mother. She seems incredibly neurotic. Very, very, very scared of saying the wrong thing, and I think losing Ivy
Mm-hmm.
again for that reason. Very helicoptery,
Yeah.
wants to be all up in her business. I get it. Like at the same, like I was frustrated by it, but at the same time, I get
I
it.
can understand both sides of that coin. Yeah.
We don't know much about her other than that I think that she might have slept with the headmaster. That and then she's on the rocks with her husband. That's really it. So Angus Moxham, the father, was living in a different house with another woman when the call came in that his daughter may be alive. And so he did agree to move back into the house, which I have to say is quite a commitment
Yes.
to your
Mm-hmm.
daughter. Like they really are trying their best to do everything that they can for her, which is nice to see.
Yeah.
Now he would like to be more straightforward with Ivy, and actually I agree with that approach.
Me too.
I think mom is playing it a little bit too safe. Um, I think she does deserve to know that things happen, and I think she's going to be angrier at you when she finds out that you've been lying to her.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So when when she lost it again, I mean, all she does is really lose it repeatedly throughout the
who can
episode.
blame
But
her?
yeah, when like the mom was trying to be like, "Oh no, everything's fine," and the dad is like, "No, where were you?" Because
Hmm.
like I kind of I wanted that for her, kind of like I know it was overwhelming in the moment, but like
She needs to know that they care about her,
yeah.
that they looked for her, that they were desperate to have her back. She
Mhm.
needs to know that every moment she was gone, she was missed.
Mhm.
So that it doesn't start to feel like what your kidnapper was telling you is real.
Exactly.
So I felt like the dad's response was fine.
Mhm. I was 100% with him.
I was on board for that. I really, really was. Um, okay, so Tim. Tim is the boyfriend from when Ivy was taken. She puts up their photos together in her little dresser door or whatever. Um, Tim is married now. And while I love that Tim is trying to protect her feelings,
Yeah.
bro, you pulled off your wedding ring while you were having the conversation? Is crazy. Is crazy work. I don't even know how to respond to it. It's so insane. It's so insane. Excuse me. It's so insane.
I don't even know what to say. Like,
It was absolutely crazy.
yeah,
It was absolutely crazy. I do love that he like knew where she was gonna be.
I was just
I
gonna
thought that
say
was all
that.
very sweet. But I have to say, like, you are married though, dude. So this is like really inappropriate.
Like, you could have just told them where she was.
Wildly inappropriate. And that's another thing. There's another opinion that I have. So about regarding the dad, the new girlfriend. The fact that she called to have that, he just got his daughter back.
Did not surprise me.
It didn't surprise me either. If you're willing to let that man cheat on his wife with you,
Hmm.
but wow. Um, So I think Tim's going to be a real pain point in this.
Yeah.
She's writing him that letter. She's talking about how she can stop pausing her life now and they can get back to it. And he waited for her and babe, but he didn't. He didn't wait for you. I'm so sorry.
Who could?
What a ridiculous
At
thing
that
to ask.
age.
13
Yeah.
years to have
Yeah.
him wait.
I mean, and y'all like y'all were kids.
You don't even know that you'd still be compatible.
Mm-hmm.
You know? If I had to marry my boyfriend at age 13, I would
Oh
die.
my God.
I would die. I don't want that.
Absolutely not.
I don't want that. He was the worst kisser. Oh my God. So much tongue.
Blech.
Ugh. If you're watching this, Tim, my apologies. Anyway, I loved you hard back then, bud. Loved you hard. Not anymore. Certainly not now. Certainly not now. No. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know. I think this is going to be a really like painful point in one of these episodes, and I'm not looking forward to it. Like I'm
No,
dreading
not
it
at
already.
all.
Like a lot of dread about this. A lot of dread.
Like, oh my gosh.
Okay, and then in regards, I'm not going to talk about the family liaison officer. We haven't seen enough of her yet. She's pregnant. I think that's going to play a part at some point.
Yeah.
Especially if Ivy did have a baby. I think this is going to
Yeah.
be like there's going to be some issues here. But I'm not ready to talk about her yet because we don't know anything about her. We really don't. When it comes to the police officers, I'm going to just talk about them as a whole. I think we've talked enough about Elliot and the fact that I'm a little bit scared and how Slater feels about Ivy. But we can agree they've got a thing for each other.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also going to be a problem. Because either Ivy is going to try and make a move and that's going to cause an issue, or she's going to say something happened and that's going to cause an issue, or Slater's going to get
Or she's
jealous.
gonna,
I'm not really sure.
or she's, his niceness is gonna have her thinking something is going on that isn't.
Yeah. I have a lot of fear about a lot of this.
Yeah.
She's just so unstable. And of course, that makes 100% sense, right? Like, why wouldn't she be? But, and I'm excited to see if any of this stuff ties together, like this conversation about the arcade, but where she wasn't anywhere near the arcade.
Yeah.
There are some holes in her story.
I mean, she was gone for half of her life, and she has more memories because no one remembers things that happened before like 4 years old. So
Yeah,
she now has more memories with this person than she had with her family.
correct. Oh, stop. Correct. So I don't know. Maybe Stockholm syndrome does come into play,
I feel
but it
like
didn't seem like it to me. It would feel like she would be trying to get away if that were the case.
I feel like she was there long enough to have made connections with other than him.
Okay. Can I give you my theory?
Hmm.
It is wild. So buckle up. If you don't want to hear it because it's crazy and it's going to ruin the whole show for you, you can skip right now. Okay. So there's a scene where Ivy's in the shower and she's holding her knees up to her chest. She's rubbing her knee and she says, "I'm sorry." And her knee looks to be like scratched in a way, or like bruised at the very least.
Hmm.
Okay. Did she kill him? Clean it up and then leave?
I like this.
I'm sorry if I just ruined the whole show. I don't know. I don't know what happens. I have not watched this show, but that
But it does
moment
make
made me think like, okay, so they can't find him anywhere. The cellar is bleached.
Mm-hmm.
She leaves very slowly. Now, that can be explained away. That can all be explained away, and then she doesn't run until she hits the sidewalk. That can all be explained away by like processing and like being scared and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But what if she has killed him, buried his body somewhere? Because why was there dirt under her toenails? Could be from the cellar. Could be from burying a body.
So this ties in with, what's going on in my head. Like, if she had a kid or more than one kid, where is it? Where are
Mhm.
they? Did he like take them from her? And then that alone would make you grow
Yeah.
enough hatred to kill somebody.
Well, and it's just like, the officers are concerned because she slept in the bed, or at least we don't know the conditions, but her hair is there.
Mm-hmm.
Her clothing is upstairs, or at least clothing that would fit her. There's a passport photo, so she's clearly left the house at some point, even though she said she
Mm-hmm.
never had. So, what happened? Did she fight to gain his trust and then kill him?
Oh,
Did
this
she
is
fight
gonna
to
be
gain his
good.
trust and then leave? Because I think you would feel embarrassed about that. I think you would feel embarrassed to say, I told him I would sleep with him to gain his trust so that I could get away.
Sorry.
It's okay.
No, yeah. Oh, I love this. This is gonna be good.
So I'm not sure. I'm not sure this could just be a regular story. Trauma, abuse,
Listen,
kidnapping.
we have 5 more episodes,
But
and
it's a limited series and the story ends at the end. And so this is a whole tale. Whatever we're going to get
mhm,
here is going to be a whole story.
and I think it's gonna be a good one.
I think so too. So thank you to Jackie Jones, whatever those numbers were. Jackie Jones 8588. Thank you. Because whether or not you intended this to be your recommendation, because maybe you were recommending the movie 13, this was good.
This seems more appropriate.
It does. So I feel like this is what you were recommending, but I don't know. I don't know. But either way, we enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it. I'm actually really looking forward to watching this series. Kind of want to go watch the second episode now, but I'm going to refrain. I will wait. Anything else you want to say about it?
I was surprised at how much I liked it. Not that I thought I wasn't gonna like it, but I like it. It probably helps that I like the actress.
Sure.
Um, but it's right up my alley.
Yeah, very much
Um,
so. This like interesting style of like I put it in the hashtags like true crime vibes because it's
mm-hmm.
not true crime, but it feels like true crime.
I do think some weird things are coming.
Oh
We're
yeah.
good. We're good
Yeah, in
though.
a good way.
Hmm.
Not in a good I'm sorry, not in a good way, in an
Right.
interesting way.
Interesting way. Yeah.
Yeah. Just so y'all know, that is nail glue. It looks gnarly for some reason in this light. But that is nail glue. And I'm grossed out by that right now. These nails are coming off this weekend, I think. Anyway, Okay, I think we're going to call it quits here. But I'm really looking forward to this. And thank you to the one person who's watching. You're silent, but we love you anyway.
Yes, we do.
We love you anyway. Thank you for being here. To our homegirls, Durga, India, I hope you watch this later. We missed you.
And you might be interested in this show, so you should watch it.
I think you would be. You should watch it. Watch it with us. It's on Peacock. It's on Peacock or YouTube TV, I guess, if you have it. But yeah, this is enjoyable. And so I'm really looking forward to next week. And so now you can join us every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for this new television series, this new YouTube series called the Limited Series Lounge, in which we will be breaking down all of the details, all the juicy bits of limited series. So give us your suggestions again in the comments. We will take them. The only thing we have on the docket right now is Made. After this, that's it. That's all we got. It's all we got. So if you got an idea, throw it in there. Again, if it's a canceled show, you can throw it in there, but say this was a canceled show so that I can put it on the giant wheel for canceled shows. All right. We're going to go. It's been real. And this was a toit hour session. Maybe it'll be longer next time. You never know. Anyway, we love you so much. You sweet, 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 precious angel babies. We love you. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.